Do you ever feel like life is going on autopilot and you're not conscious of what's actually going on? Do you ever feel like, days go by and, you blink and there's nothing that you could do about them? They simply pass and you did what you had to do. You went to work or you went to school. You saw your loved ones, but you weren't conscious about, much of it. Right? I remember I used to have this feeling when I was in high school. It was kind of a bad period for me. I was doing a lot of, kind of bad things, not super productive. But the point is right after COVID, it's kind of my excuse, but I was not very conscious, right? I was genuinely, living every single day on autopilot. I wasn't thinking much, and I always had this very weird feeling in my head that something is wrong, and this feeling in my head and this knowledge that things are not really playing out the way I want them to. I'm kind of like living every day and I'm kind of doing things and I'm getting my driver's license and I'm applying to jobs, but I was on automatic. And I think a lot of people live in this kind of, day-to-day routine where you're so unconscious, which is what it is. You're so unconscious that you literally cannot influence what it is that you're doing in life. You kind of are living just passing by every single day, kind of going with the flow, doing whatever, but having no, direction, having no kind of, intention over what's going on. And I want to talk today about how you can actually get out of that kind of unconscious state and get into a spot in your life where you're so conscious over every single thought, every single action, every single desire, every single little bit of your life. It makes it very easy, right, to go ahead and progress towards what you want to progress to and regress or move away from what you want to move away from, right? That kind of consciousness and awareness, more specifically, is one of the most amazing things I've been able to develop quite recently, right? There's a couple of aspects to this, but at the very, very core, what all this really means is when you are unaware, when you're passing every single day and you're not thinking much about it, right? You wake up, you do what you got to do, then you next thing you know, you're in bed or maybe you watch TV, this, that, you ate food. That is when you are so involved, right, with the subconscious, excuse me, the conscious mind is so, um, you know, I guess it has so much control over your day to day that your subconscious mind, right, the part of you that wants to pursue goals, the part of you that has your personality, the part of you that actually makes up who you truly are, right? It's far bigger than than your conscious mind is. You never let it do what it wants to do. Right? You never let it out of its bubble, and you also never let your heart out the bubble. And so you're living like this robot who's making conscious decisions all day, right? You don't know why, but you just feel so down and you feel so automatic, right? You feel like there's no kind of real spontaneity, there's no real soul or heart to what you're doing, right? One of the best things that I've been able to do that started to allow me to become far more aware of where I'm trying to head is meditation, right? Prayer, meditation, and fasting. I have a whole video talking about this. It's one of the best videos on my channel, right? But it talks about how when you're fasting, when you meditate, when you pray, right, you completely empty the mind. There are no conscious decisions to make. There's nothing for you to mull over. There's no kind of problems to solve, right? This is where your subconscious mind is kind of let out of its cage, right, and starting to flourish, and you can really start to understand yourself, right? If you kind of mix this in with reflection and then just meditation, right, with some kind of intention behind it, you can genuinely not only begin to understand yourself, but you can reprogram your mind, which is what meditation is supposed to be, right? You're supposed to reprogram your mind to be able to detach, right? You're supposed to reprogram your mind to set an intent. You're supposed to reprogram your mind to focus, right? To allow things to happen, all these different things, right? To feel gratitude, right? This is what meditation is. And once you start to do it more and more and more, and there's less distractions for your conscious mind, you can truly begin to pick and choose what it is you want to focus on, what it means to you, and what you want to do about it, right? I want to also mention that, look, meditation is amazing, and I think that is going to be the number one thing that will make the biggest difference. If there's nothing you take away from this video, the one thing I want you to try is to try and go on a fast and try and meditate for at least 1 or 2 weekends, I'd say, but for about 24 hours, right? It's the easiest if you start at night and then you go to sleep. That's already an automatic 8 hours fasted. And then you could break the fast at night or do an additional 8 hours. That'd be close to 32 hours. Do that. If there's nothing else you take away from the video, your life will change. You'll become far more aware. But I also wanted to mention goal setting, right? That's something I think all of you really need to do. Look, your subconscious mind, you as Maxwell Maltz says in his book, Psycho-Cybernetics, right? You are a goal-striving machine, right? You are a servo mechanism, right? Where you naturally, as a human being, your soul, your heart, your mind wants to chase some kind of goal, pursue something, right? Like a heat missile, right? What this means is you actually need to be conscious of these goals. You need to write them down on paper. You need to understand what it is that you're going after, right? And by the way, money is not a goal. I know this is a crazy concept, and for the longest time, for me, the goal was like money. I want to make XYZ amount. The truth is your heart, which is really what directs everything in this world, right? Your heart is what taps into the alternative space and God and everything. Your heart does not understand money. So if you say that I want to have $1 million, right, or I have $1 million, and you do these affirmations, great, right? But you might get this $1 in a million weird ways that can completely destroy your life. But you'll have the $1 million. In all reality, you have to ask yourself, what does that money do for you, right? What does $1 million do for you? Because you're not ever gonna have that just to look at, right? You don't want money just to look at it in your bank account or to have a whole pile of cash on your desk, right? Then at that point, buy some fake cash and look at it, right? Scribble some with a marker on your screen on your phone, right? Some numbers if that's all you want, right? You can fake it. There's no point in having that. Money needs to do something for you. It's a tool. So that is why I want you to start goal setting, and that's what I want you to start manifesting, right? What house does that money buy? What vacation can you go on, right? What kind of school can you buy for your kids or your family or whoever else, right? How can you give back and give charity and sponsorships and this stuff with that money, right? That money is a tool. So stop manifesting, stop goal setting. I want to have XYZ. That's great. I don't think that's bad. But what I want you guys to do is start to goal set these outcomes, right? Start to goal set these really emotionally dense, emotionally heavy topics and outcomes where you can really, really manifest and picture and imagine, right? Feeling this amazing gratitude for being able to have achieved something. And that money will come, right? That money will come because after, at the end of the day, if it costs you just supposedly, let's say your dream house, car, wife, vacations, and everything else, right? Money does not a worry. Let's say for you that was $10 million. Why would you want 12? Why would you want 20? You wouldn't, right? So you don't know for a fact, unless you've done the math, how much money you need or want. But you know what you want to do with that money. You know what it can buy you. You know what car that SVJ, that Aventador, that, Cullinan, who knows, right? That is what can get you. So start to manifest and dream about that and goal set regarding that. And that's really it, right? Go ahead and raise your level of awareness by doing more meditation, right? More prayer, by taking time and completely flushing out all the thoughts that come into your mind, right? From day to day in society, out of your mind, right? Reflect, understand why you hold the beliefs that you do. What do you think about yourself? Why do you think that? Is it true? If it's not true, what do I want to believe? How can this serve me? Right? It's like the three things I said earlier. So Tony Robbins says, what do you focus on? What does it mean to me or to you? And what do you do about it? Right? You always have those three decisions to make, those three choices. And yeah, just set those goals. Those are the most important things that I think you guys can make. It's one of the biggest shifts you can make so that you can start living every single day with excitement, knowing that you're consciously, right, directing and sculpting your future every single day. Right, you're working towards it, and you have so much. It gives you so much more power and presence and amazing and gratitude. Right, so I want to leave you guys with that. It's such an amazing thought. I'm so grateful that I've been able to learn much more about awareness, because it's completely changed my life. Right, it's really allowed me to be so grateful for every single day and really realize the power I have in directing my future and my outcomes and just where I'm headed. So guys, I hope you guys enjoy. Begin to meditate, fast, pray, set your goals, and your life will change in a matter of weeks, months, and years. That's it. Don't manifest money. Manifest the outcome or result of money. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Peace.